So this is the final boss of this dungeon, so it's almost over. Now this is... It treats it like it's two fights, but it's really one long fight that's two phases. So the first phase we will fight Livia in her Magitech, her beautiful white Magitech that she's in now. We can't really do damage to her by attacking her. We have to use these cannons that are spread about this room to damage her mech enough to where she'll eventually jump out of it, which starts the second phase of the fight, or really the second fight, where we fight her and we'll down her very quickly. So once we kill this Magitech Colossus, get started. So you can see cannons here, here, two over here. During the fight, it will spawn additional enemies who will try to stop us from using the cannons. These little hands are loading claws, so it's essentially putting things in the cannon for use. Enemies will show up and try to attack those, which prolongs this fight. And if it goes on too long, she'll eventually kill us. You can see as I attack her, basically doing no damage. 9, 6, 9, 6. I should be doing a lot more damage. That's this, so everyone will come on me when they spawn. Pop kind of on the sides of the room. There we go. Summoner's crit. Hopefully we can do some work on these ads. This is Castrum, Meridianum. The final part of this series is Praetorium. And that's the one that is an hour long, very long, tons of cutscenes, incredibly important to the story itself. Which is very dramatic. One of the main reasons to do this dungeon or do these main scenario quests is they are so time consuming. leveling a job, it's incredibly beneficial. If they give massive amounts. Praetorium obviously gives way more because it's so long, so many fights. But even this one will give a very significant experience. The other thing is at max level, you're not getting XP, you get these currency tokens. These currency tokens are used to buy incredibly powerful gear at max level. And it's really beneficial because once you have one job leveled up and you want to continue running content, you can use those on secondary jobs. You can see all these little squares that I have at the bottom of the screen here. These are different jobs I have saved. So here's my Astrologian. I need to leave the dungeon here to change jobs real quick. Got 2 commendations. 2 people thought I did a good job. Fantastic. Oh, dropped right into the middle of fate. So switching jobs, very simple. It's essentially equipping the weapon associated with that job, what these buttons are essentially doing. So here's my Astrologian. With that, I become a white mage. So you can see up here, Astrologian level 70, no XP because I'm max level. Click white mage level 67, XP 1,828,792 out of 8,575,000 that I need to get to level 68. My scholar, I don't have sufficient armory space. I need to clear out some gear. Because every time you take clothes off, you put them in your chest, you put new ones on, there's not enough space. So I'll go to my Dark Knight. Dark Knight, level 62. This is a tank. This is a heavy sort of broadsword. Cannot equip sufficient armory space. Alright, we need to figure out what's going on there. Is the rings. The rings are maxed out. So let's put something into our inventory. We don't. Our paladin, level 64, almost 65. I've got quite a few other jobs. I've got red mage. Red mage is also level 70. Those are my 270, Astro and red mage. Technically I have a samurai that's 51. I just started that job. It starts at 50. Pugilist that's way back at level 7. I don't even have the top for it anymore. I have to find its gear. Picked up Marauder, which is another tank. So Dark Knight, Paladin, Marauder will eventually become Warrior, are the 3 tanks of the game. Astrologian, White Mage, Scholar are healers. Our Healing Fairy, Eos, she's adorable. And then everything else is a variety of damage dealers. Samurai is, of course, a melee damage dealer. Pugilist is a melee damage dealer. Red Mage is a hybrid magic-dealing, sword-wielding fencing class. So they will cast a lot of spells, and then they build up their gauge, and once their gauge is full, they go flying in with their sword, and they do all these flashy, stabby moves, and then they jump back. Tack, and then jump. Anyway, the point of that whole thing is you're running those super long, very time-consuming dungeons. Why do you do that? So, as my Astrologian, if I go to the queue, I look at what we just ran. Since I've already received my rewards, it's not really telling me anything. but you can see here when I click on trials, there's these tokens. These are the tokens that are used to buy that really high level gear. So every type of content gives a different amount based on how much is really needed, how difficult the content is. They kind of alternate. The Genesis is the strongest, so it gives fewer. So it takes longer to accumulate it because the gear is so strong. Mendacity is a little bit weaker, but it's still very, very powerful, more, stronger than a lot of what I have. So you get more of that. You can see just the different queues give different amounts of things. So I usually run main scenario on my max level characters just because it gives me the most number of those tokens, and that's really what I care about right now. But once I am geared where I feel comfortable, then I will start doing main scenario with my white mage because I'm trying to get that to 70, and then after that I will probably start doing it on the paladin. I don't really tank content. I tank solo. I've never really jumped into tanking in this game, so main scenario is relatively risk-free because we're so overpowered, but I would never say jump into the leveling roulette as a tank because those are not overgeared. Those are dungeons you go into as you're leveling up, and it's a lot riskier. So that's really all I wanted to cover today for this video, is just capture a little bit of what we're doing, talk a little bit about how the classes work, why we're running these things, just give a little bit of experience in the game itself. Officially in this zone, so this giant tree. So when I kill this tree, I'm going to get XP, and I'm going to get some seals, which is another type of currency to buy here. Just a little bit of bonus XP. I'm slowly trying to level this class up. So I need to kill 3 of them to get my big boost of XP for my hunt log to be on all kinds of stuff. Flashing is absolutely beautiful. The spell effect is amazing. Pretty colorful. Right. If you're a fan of darker games, it's not those. If you're a fan of big explosions and beautiful colors and just wild and crazy character designs and spell effects, then this is absolutely for you. Alright, let's find another tree so we can be done with this hunt. There's one. Decent amount of XP for just killing 3 trees. In addition to the XP you actually get for killing each individual enemy, you get the bonus of 119,000 XP, 15 seals, which is that currency that I'm trying to accumulate, and I completed one of my hunt logs. So I've got 3 more to do, this to be totally complete. So let's go do those real quick. ruby seed. Once we complete these logs, that will... These guys over. Down in the Isle of Ziki. How many of these do we need to kill? 2. So we'll kill 2 of them and we'll get our little bonus. Now, depending on what level these are, I may or may not kill them on the paladin. If they're level 68, 69, 70, I'll switch over to the red mage or the astro. If they're 60 to 66 or so, I'll continue to use the paladin so I actually get the XP part of this. Officially, the point is not to get the XP, it's to get the seals. So those are the most important part of this process, but it'd be nice to get the bonus XP too. Alright, 63, perfect. Pull my chocobo out. My chocobo does not need to tank, because I am a tank, so I will make her a healer. Where I'm quite as effective at taking damage and looking at enemies, but I do a lot. Well, that was one, or 2 enemies there, but only one of them was the actual enemy we needed. Try to find our next victim. Let me pull just one. Oh yeah. That other enemy just stands there talking to himself, not realizing that his friend is left. That. Next on our list, Congamato, the peaks. Alright, let's see where these guys are. They're in White Rock. Is, of course, near the other. Teleport to the other spot. And go straight north. Looks like this is a level 68 zone, so probably gonna need to switch jobs here. I could certainly survive the fight, but it'll just take a lot longer than I feel like with, so we will just burn this thing down real quick. There's one of two. Figured I'd run into one just around the corner and didn't need to remount, but down. One more. Yeah. Remember correctly, that's near House of the Fierce. Yes, my beast that clearly cannot fly can fly. Fooled you. Alright, what do we got here? Level 67. Mage. Use one of the sword abilities so you can see that I'm rushing. Swing the rapier. Now, the amount of damage that does is dependent upon how high your gauge is. I just used that, but it's a very low threshold, so I didn't really get much damage out of that. If that had been maxed out, that little flurry would have killed him before I even made it through. Free. That stack is completed. looks like. Actually have a decent amount of energy. This is white and black mana. Sort of always, your goal is to keep them almost identical. You don't want one to get out of the range of the other. You'll see your little gem will turn from being gray, which means it's not high enough, or red means things are in balance because this is a red mage. If one side gets too high, it'll either turn white or blue, which makes it to where if it's blue, for example, your white starts going up slower, which makes it even harder to get back in sync. Very, very frustrating when you get off on your rotation. You build your mana based on which spells you're using. So Verero and Verstone build white mana, Thunder, Fire build black mana, and then I've got a variety of other spells like Cure, which kills mace. The fun thing about Red Mage is that it's built on the idea that you have some of these spells with super long cast times, but every other spell that you cast becomes an instant. So when I target this guy and I cast Short Jolt, I'm going to go, this is dual cast. The next spell will require no time to cast. So you're basically leapfrogging short cast, instant cast, short cast, instant cast. So just cast the same spell 4 times, which made what felt like two casts. See, I'm in the red, so I'm sitting pretty good. It's really helpful when you're using something like Cure, because you cast this long cure and then you can hit it again. Boom. Just healed myself for almost, 16,000, 50,000. Not too shabby for a person who's not actually a healer. I can also use that combination, get my little buff, and then use Raise for Raise, which raises a person from death. Something typically only healers can do, and they have to either cast that slowly, which takes a long time, or they essentially use some other spell like Swift Cast, which takes an instant spell to cast instantly. But then that's on a cooldown of 60 seconds, so it's not like you can use that all the time. You use it to use a big AoE, and then someone dies, they have to wait to cast their spell. So Red Mage is fun. You get to do a lot of interesting bouncy things. Okay, so I think that's where I'm going to end here, because other things to do. So I'm going to teleport back to Gridania, which is my home city. I will catch you guys on the flip side.